Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool. And as you know, I like utility knives, and that means YouTube knows I like utility knives. So it popped up an ad on my feed that had this ToughBuilt Scraper Utility Knife with 5 blades. Thought I might be interested in it. Turns out I am, so I got one. What this is a combination scraper utility knife. I'll show you how it works in a sec. Oh, this is great. Look at that. It says, designed and engineered in the USA. That's outstanding. Made in China. But anyway, it has this rotating head, so I like the packaging, you know, so they could show you how this thing works in the... so what it is there is a slider here, and then from the midpoint, if you push it up, it changes between a scraper and a knife. Or if you hold this button, it goes all the way to the bottom. So it's a knife, and then if you want the scraper, just push it up all the way. And then get back to the knife, and then close it up. Comes with 5 blades. The reason that's important is because it looks like it takes a proprietary blade. We'll check that out. And it says lifetime warranty. So we'll see. It's held in here by this zip tie, and this zip tie's got a really sharp little end. So I thought I'd take a second and clean that up before I open it. Gives me another use for these wonderful snap-on zip tie flush cutters. So let's take a look at this. So what do we got? We've got this little nub sticking out that's kind of sharp, and I'll just hook these right up to it and nip it off there. Much better. Alright, so let's open this thing. And what we've got is this kind of case that it easily slides out of once it's, once the blade's retracted. And the zip tie is cut. However, we do have the blades locked in here. Now, I could use a utility knife. I wanted to give this inexpensive Craftsman another shot, because this seems to work for a lot of things. See if I can get it to begin its journey through this. If not, yeah, go with my new Olfa utility blade. Try that out. I'm still playing with it. I'll do a quick tabletop review. Something I noticed there is when I was holding it, I was depressing this because I'm right-handed. So, let's see if I can cut through this. There we go. Maybe a little bit more, just to try out the knife. Good enough. All right. So, let's get to it. What I've got now is a chance to feel its actual weight. And why that's important is because it felt heavy when I first picked it up, but then I compared it here. So let's try it. Check out the weight. I'm still building my Overland kit. Got some updates there. This is going to be close because it's not perfectly level. So on my balance here, I'll weigh in a couple of different knives. And this is a fully loaded snap-on, by the way. So the Fiskars is 7.2 ounces. Let's see if you can see that. Maybe there you go. 7.2, close enough. This is 7.6, just a hair more. Fully loaded metal snap-on here. 7.8. And then, where did my reference go? Oh, here it is. My box cutter. Remember when we used to be happy with these? This seemed to be just the kind of thing that worked, did all its stuff, everything we needed. Look at that, the old Listo Pencil Corp. This is the carton cutter. Real simple design. So, let me zoom out close enough. It's 0.005 of an ounce. 1.2 ounces. So, what we've got is a highly comparable knife. Move that away. Meaning it's right in there with the weight of the others. It's got a paint can lid opener, kind of a little pry bar there, a lanyard hole you can see through there. Thumb stop, nope, finger stop, index finger stop it looks like, or maybe for riding up. That's probably what it is right there. And then it's got a rubberized portion there, probably for pushing, and I'll try the scraping in just a second. Couple things before we start, before we try it out, is the, let me fold this up, the design of this. It's pretty heavy duty. It's metal, it's heavy molded, looks like we've got some torque screws holding this thing together compared to some of the others that, you know, look like they're just maybe MIM or metal injection molded and then stamped together or pinned together. This one might have some user serviceable parts eventually in it. I don't know. And one of the other things I noticed right away when I was playing around in the package trying to get a measurement, if you look, this is kind of off center. So they've pushed this blade to the downhill side, the side on that end. And I was thinking how that compares. Actually, let me switch it back. If you look at the distance here, that's something I wanted to measure. So what I've got is just a flat ruler here, and then I'll measure this to see how far off. So it's zeroed. So what I'm going to do is measure this distance here, right about there, 11 millimeters, 11.5 millimeters is probably about right. So 11.5 for that offset. Compare that now to the Fiskars. Oops, and I'll do it on the same side. A little tough with that button there. I'll try it like this. So I'll come in from the bottom. About right there. 11.1, so it's right in line there. Let's try the snap-on. You can see the snap-on's maybe a little bit offset, judging by the thicknesses of those metal plates. Try that. So here we go. What do we got? 10, so a little less. So the snap-on is the least. This is right in there. I was thinking because of how thick it is that there might be a problem. You know, just trying to get up close to something. Now in the scraping mode, if we look at that, you can see kind of the approach angle, using an overlanding term, and it looks like maybe that's where the shape of this came from. If we put this right up against that, that's the angle. So I wanted to try it out, just pushing to see when I would lose contact. You can see at what point, what angle would I lose contact. I haven't thrown an angle meter on it yet. I thought I'd eyeball it first to see what's going to happen. Now, one thing I noticed, that's kind of there. This button is maybe a little bit in the way. This isn't really going to move much. I've already tried it. So compare that to my Titan, kind of my classic here. This thing easily slides in. It doesn't have quite as harsh a corners, and those corners can grab, making it a little tougher. And then here's that blue point, which I don't think is the greatest because it's kind of pricey, it's heavy, it's slippery, it's cold, especially right now because it's aluminum. And the angle is too steep. So this would come in kind of second here. That is a big scraper, so it's probably not going to be the best for precision work because trying to keep that entire thing aligned is going to be a little bit rough. So what about the knife? Actually, let me bring the package up and play with that. Compare a couple here. So So this is getting in the way just a little. Whoops, just a little bit. You know, maybe you gotta be very careful with how you hold it. I'm able to cut. Yeah, then I caught it there. So that's going to be something I have to watch. This so far was always my favorite, the snap-on here. Just the way you can grab it and use it. Real comfortable. Now, let's talk blades here for a second. This thing, to take out the blade, looks like you push something or pull something. Let's see, to change the blade, knife must be in the utility position. Press and hold button, remove blade. Press and hold button. This button. Press it sideways. Is that it? Interesting. Wow, that came out really easy. Interesting. There we go. So sideways. So this is almost similar to another knife I have. It does pop in. Huh, that's pretty easy to get out if you push that, but should hold it in. Now let's take a look at this blade. This blade has a cutout in the center, so let's compare it to, let's say this blade here, and see what happens if we try to insert this guy in here. What does it do? Interesting. So you could feel like it's in there, but it's not, because it doesn't have that grabbing thing. Look at that. Now, that's kind of an interesting situation. Because the design of this blade is retention, not insertion here. So I can easily slide another blade in. There we go. Go to town with it and have it fly out. Huh. So that's one of the problems with the proprietary blade. If I slide this guy in, I'm also seeing that it can slide out. There's some resistance there. Okay, that one's grabbed. So that's in there snug. So you'd have to have, you know, a source of blades. Interesting. So if that was caught out, would it? Interesting. Just playing around. Obviously, I'm misusing it. That's not what this tool is designed for. I am here to show you its qualities. So anyway, combination scraper and utility knife. It looks like for one tool in a reasonable weight class and size and use, you've got both. I would imagine for working, you know, if you're cleaning a lot of glass, that might be good. A lot of the things scraping paint, I haven't tried that with it, obviously, but I imagine you could. In fact, it almost drags better than it slides, depending on the roughness, because that's a big scraper. That's floor work almost. But it is a fun tool, and that's pretty much the point. Cool. Anyway, I'll let you know as I learn more about this thing. ToughBuilt Scraper Utility Knife with the paint can opener. Kind of that is that metal? Looks kind of like metal, like aluminum maybe. Yeah. There's the model number. It's the TBH401. This says the TBH4S501. So the S5 is probably the 5 blades. 01, I assume it's their first iteration. We'll see how it goes. Probably a lot of people will get these as gifts because it's kind of novel. Neat idea. I'll see. I'm going to put it to use, and then see how it compares. See if it ends up in the good tool bag. And with that, Doc out.